Alright, so now that I've got a rough sketch of my bridge in Sketchup, I'm going to go through and kind of clean it up a little bit, starting with deleting these extra pieces of the triangles. Again, just clicking the delete button on your keyboard can delete those a little bit faster. And then there's quite a bit of other cleanup I still need to do. Starting with any little lines sticking out the edges, and all these little lines connecting the pieces. So to see that all a little bit better, I'm going to hide my screenshot. You can do that by right-clicking on it and just going to hide. And then you can see I've got even a couple other lines up here that I need to erase from my starting rectangle. So any lines that are sticking out need to be erased. Any lines that are connecting pieces together on the inside should be erased, so that we have one continuous surface. And this corner I'm even going to clean up a little bit by extending this line parallel to that one all the way down. Now I can erase that and that and that. And I'll just kind of move across my bridge, checking it closely for any of these lines that we're going to erase. Alright, so you can see now I've cleaned up my bridge file. I've erased any extra lines that were sticking out or any of the extra lines in all the joints. And you can see, unfortunately, it's not a perfect replica. This V is a little bit taller than some of these other ones, but it's at least a close model to what I was working with in West Point Bridge design. You could definitely be a little bit more accurate by using measurements, maybe get a rough design and then specifying the length of each one of these and kind of designing it a little bit cleaner. But for a first practice bridge, this will definitely work. Once you've got your model completely cleaned up of any stray lines, we can very quickly extend it vertically with a push-pull tool. And in the event description it says we want the bridge to be around 1 inch wide. That's going to help it be a little bit more stable as we are testing it. So that says should be between 1 and 2 inches. So that should be at least 25.4 millimeters or anything up to 50.8 millimeters. So as I am pushing this up with the push-pull tool, I want to watch the dimension box down here, the measurement box, to make sure I'm at least 25.4 and not more than 50. So this would be 25.4, and I kind of like that. Maybe I'll do a little bit more just to be a little bit extra. And now I've got a very rough model of a 3D bridge that we would be able to print and test. Now you're actually looking at your bridge on its side. I'm going to recommend to print it. It's actually going to print a lot better vertically. The printer needs material underneath it to print well, and so by printing vertically there will always be plastic underneath each one of these sections as it builds your bridge model. If you were to print it sideways like this, you'd have a lot of places underneath these V's. As the printer begins building their bridge and adding plastic, you're going to have plastic kind of hanging out over nothing, and that will most likely lead to a poor print. But if you print it vertically, it's going to be much smoother. It'll actually be able to print just straight up on top of itself, and you should get a much smoother print.